Hey guys, it's Kara from East to West Homeschool. For those who are new here, I just want to share that I have 5 children. 4 are going to be in our homeschool this fall, and they will be kindergarten, 2nd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade. Today, I'm going to be covering my 4th graders' individual choices for homeschooling. This will not encompass everything that we're doing, but it will cover the things that are individual to him, meaning that maybe he'll do it on his own, or he'll do it with me, or he'll do it with like just one other child, but it won't be the stuff that we do all together as a family. I will do another curriculum video in the near future regarding the together subjects that we're going to do as a family. So if you would like the notification on that video, please click the bell to get notifications and subscribe so that you don't miss out on the other choices that we're going to do. I tend to be a planner, and I'm so excited about the things that we've planned for this fall. I say we because my son is my only boy, and I love to cater to his interests. So some of the choices on this video are things that I chose, but some of them are things he chose. I will also link the Why We Homeschool video above, because one of the reasons I love to homeschool is because I get to cater to our children's needs and interests. And I'm excited to show some of how we do that today in the choices that we've made. Here's just an overview of the individual subjects that we'll be doing this fall with my 4th grade boy. He has picked some of these things himself, and some of these I have picked, and some we have collaborated together on. Okay, let's begin with Bible. Bible is not a required subject, obviously. It is an extra one, but in our house it's one of the most important things. Actually, it is the most important thing. So this is my son's Bible, and it's mostly to represent that he has decided he's going to do Bible quizzing with our denomination this fall. Our denomination does a Bible quizzing program, and he can start it in 4th grade. And my daughter did it last year, so the older 2 kids will be doing it this fall. They will not be memorizing the NIRV, but it will be the NIV version, and they will be memorizing the book of Matthew. Now, my son at first didn't want to do Bible quizzing because it sounded very overwhelming for him, but he has decided that he could memorize part of it. Next is the student planner. I love the student planner. This is the Christian Light Education. I don't know if I can zoom it up a little bit. Christian Light Education Student Planner. I feel like the example on the front kind of shows what it's like. It lists some of the subjects, and then you as a teacher or as the student can fill in the different days, and then you can mark them off as they're done. Also, each week there's a journaling page, which we are going to be using for our Friday free writes with Brave Writer, and as well as there are spots where you can write your own subjects, and there's a spot for students to review how they did throughout the week, so they're evaluating themselves. And it's just a really nice, simple planner. We started using it this year, but we didn't use it a ton, and so we'll be using it more this year. It's undated, so you can date it however you want. And just so you know, my nails look really yellow today. I know this is a total side note, but I've been chopping a lot of vegetables this week, so they're a little bit discolored. So anyway, not to gross you out by that. Next, I'm going to cover some of the required subjects. In our state, the only 2 required subjects are language arts and math. So first we have Rod and Staff, Beginning Christian English series. This is such a nice book. It's very traditional. My kids don't love it because it's not super exciting, but they are learning the very fundamental basic skills of English grammar, and I love it for that. As well as it only goes through 10th grade instead of 12th, and we have been using this since partway through 2nd grade. So my son actually will be doing English 3, and he'll start English 4. So he'll be doing a little bit more. He'll be doing probably 1.5 books this year, which sounds like a lot, but he did not do as much as he should have done this year, in my opinion. He got the school hours that he needed, but I would have liked to see him go into this book. Anyway, to do that, he needs a notebook. So this is just a blank notebook. I did go ahead and buy the worksheet book as well, but I'm not sure yet how I'm going to incorporate that in. So that is what he's doing for grammar. Now for handwriting, he is learning cursive. He has started learning cursive this year. This is the grade 3 advanced printing cursive success from Handwriting Without Tears. And then this is just a thing to go on to his desk so he can have a reference. For spelling, we're going to be doing Spelling Power this year. It'll be our first year trying it. I've not loved the other things we've tried, so I am excited to get into this. I also got a notebook, the Spelling Power student record book, to use with this so that it's easy and it's set apart from his other notebooks. And this is the book that My Father's World Exploring Countries and Cultures recommends doing for spelling. So I'm excited that we're kind of doing it along with our main core curriculum, which I will cover in our Together Subjects video. Now for math, my son is going to be doing Math Mammoth this year. This is his first year doing Math Mammoth. My daughter, who's going to be in 5th grade, has done it since about 2nd grade, but this will be the first year my son has done it. So my son is not super thrilled to switch out of his current program, which has been Life Pack Math. But the nice thing is I bought this CD and it is grades 4 through 7 all on the same CD. So it was a good way to combine all the different grade levels. And then I just print it. It prints in color. I've not printed it yet, obviously, which is why I'm not showing that. But I'm super excited for him to use this. It's very teacher hands off, which I kind of need for my older ones so that I can tackle school with my young ones. And I love the color in it. I love how it explains things very well. And I just feel like it will be a really good program for him, even though he doesn't see it that way. And also it is a very affordable program when you buy the CD, because each consecutive kid that I have can use the same grade levels. So like my daughter used this already for 4th grade last year. Now my son can use it for 4th grade, and it will be awesome because he will get to save money on curriculum because I will not have to buy any new curriculum for him. The next thing that I'm really super excited about is we're actually going to go into Drawn into the Heart of Reading for reading this year. This is, again, is another program I've never used. It gets really good reviews. As you can see by the cover, it's recommended in Kathy Duffy more than once, obviously, because 100 and 102. It says it's a multi-level reading program to use with any books that you choose. Now, my son, in the past couple of years, I have kind of chosen his books to read for himself to read to help him with his reading development, but he's a really good reader, and he informed me he doesn't like my boring history choices for books. So this year is a perfect year to start using this, because the way that Heart of Dakota does it is Carrie Austin actually divides things into different genres. The last couple of years we've used Heart of Dakota as our core for history, and then all the subjects basically. And for the read alouds, she divided them like this too: biography, adventure, historical fiction, fantasy, mystery, folk tales, nonfiction, humor, and realistic fiction. And I have loved how she's, you know, kind of divided the books into not just reading one genre all the time, but you know, reading the different genres. So I'm excited that my son has chosen books that go into these categories for himself to read. So he gets the choice of the books. Now, the way Drawn into the Heart of Reading does it is there is the option of buying the package from Heart of Dakota. So I could have just bought the, I believe it's called the level 4-5 boy interest book pack. But because my son does not like me picking his books any longer, I let him help me decide on which ones to do. So he really did have the choice, though some of the books, like say we had, I think mystery, I just found like a whole bunch of different mysteries, and I said, which one of these do you want to do? And then he chose. But they also do have the sample book ideas. It's full of books listed by genre and by level. It's just a printout, but it's really handy to have to refer to. If you would like to see more of how this works, just ask me and I might do another video on just Drawn into the Heart of Reading. But basically this book includes kind of dissecting books, sort of like book reports. There's some kind of creative ways of doing it, and they're all divided by the genres. So the books that he has chosen will plug into this curriculum, and I think it will help with reading comprehension and different things that I feel like he does probably need work on, or at least I need to make sure that he's good on, not just reading books. The last year, we just kind of read books, but I'm really excited to get into more of the dissection of books this year. So here are his book choices. For biography, my son has chosen the landmark book, Meet Martin Luther King Jr. This series was recommended in the book ideas, but this book itself was not one of the ones listed. And I'm super excited that this is what he chose for his biography. For adventure, he has chosen the Axel and Beast books. Now, he's already read the first couple books. First 3, I guess, is what I have. So these are the next 3. So book 3 is Robotic Rumble. 4 is The Omega Operation. 5 is The Castle of Cyborgs. Now, the way the curriculum works, too, is if books are shorter, like these are not very long, I don't think they'll take him very long to read, he can actually read 2 or 3 books instead of just 1 during his genre. So we'll see how far he gets in these. If he just does 2, that's fine, but we might plan for 3 depending on where he's at with his reading. Now for historical fiction, he has chosen The Sign of the Beaver. This one does actually come with the level 4-5 boy interest pack. I just happen to have this with some other curriculum, Sunlight, I believe. And so this book I already had on my shelf, and this is the one he chose. For fantasy, he has chosen The Mouse and the Motorcycle, which, if you have not seen this movie, it is one of my favorites from my childhood. I really enjoy this movie. And my kids don't really remember it. I'm not sure if they've actually seen it. So this will be perfect for him to read, and then we'll follow up with watching the movie after. The Boxcar Children is what he's chosen for mystery. And on the Boxcar Children, this is the very first book. My children have seen this movie a couple years ago, I think, but it's not been for a while. And so I think he'll enjoy this, and we do have others in this series if he decides to keep going with it. For folktales, The Whipping Boy. For humor, Timmy Failure. Did you guys know that Timmy Failure is a book? It's actually a book series. And so I was super excited to find this. We've seen the movie, we loved it, so I got book 1 and book 2. And he's super excited to read these. I think out of all of them, these are probably the most exciting books to him right now. Then for a realistic fiction, The War with Grandpa. This one looks like a really kind of funny one, realistic fiction. And then for my son's interest, he actually loves nature and he loves rocks. He collects rocks. We got him a rock tumbler for Christmas, and he has literally read rock books, and I'm excited for him to I found this one, which he has not read yet, by Patrick Nuri. I saw Patrick speak at a homeschool convention, and I felt like what his approach was to geology was really great, and so I'm excited for him to read this. This will be his nonfiction book, and it caters to his interests. So on that note, I actually also bought a geology curriculum last year, and we never have used it yet. Just it hasn't fallen in with kind of our boxed curriculum that we've gone with. And so I'm hoping to get into this one as like an added science, but I'm not sure exactly how it will fall, if it will be something that he does or if we'll do it as a family. But in any case, because it's really to his interest level to study geology and rocks, I thought I would include it in his individual package here. And then this is a megalodon tooth that I bought at the homeschool convention as well. It's pretty cool. Now my son is creeped out by fossils. He loves rocks, but he hates fossils. So we'll see. I'm not sure how he'll warm up to this stuff, but I feel like if it's something that will grow as an interest, we'll just expand on it. If not, maybe we'll move on and find a different science he enjoys. Now, elementary economics is not required in my state. It could fall under math, like a hands-on math. And you'll notice it says grade 1. This is an older book, and because it's not required in my state, I feel like it doesn't really matter which grade level we do. I did this with my oldest daughter when she was in first grade, but my son doesn't even remember doing it, and it's super fun, hands-on. They'll be learning basic money principles, and I do plan on having him do this with my second grader. We'll see. We might do some as a whole family. My fifth grader has requested that we do this together, but for right now, I think I will plan on doing this for my son to help him get a better hold on money and values and needs versus wants and comparing values of things, etc. My son will have to test in our state next year, and so I also have a couple of these that are supposed to help with standardized achievement readiness. Because of COVID-19, my daughter actually did not have to take the test this last year, but my son will need to this fall, or I mean next spring, unless something changes. Now for science, we're doing science as a together subject, but we are also doing some nature study, and this is a nature study journal from the Thinking Tree, Sarah Janice Brown, and we have loved using this the last couple years as a supplement. We don't use this all the time, but we will use this some for nature study. If the kids, say, watch a nature documentary or different things, like there's just a whole bunch of ideas for ways to incorporate nature, as well as when we plan on using nature outside, there are things that you can do like collecting things and putting them in here, which is one reason this is a little bulky. Otherwise, there are some open-ended things or some guided ways to do nature study in this. The last couple of things, I plan on doing like a puberty study with my son. So this is from Heart of Dakota as well, and I chose to get this without the teacher's guide because the teacher's guide includes the full year curriculum, which I will not be using. But the books that come with just the puberty, dealing with change issue is God's Design for My Body, From Boy to Man, and Boyhood and Beyond. Now the last thing that I can think of is Spanish. My son will be doing Spanish with Rosetta Stone on his own on the computer. Now this is an older level. I know the new ones include online access, but we had this old one and I'm super excited to get into it. I downloaded it on the computer already so we can use this and do our Spanish this year. Thank you for watching.